Hi guys, Sam from Website Right here, and in this video I wanted to talk to you about changing your domain name on your WordPress website. So this sometimes happens when you've got your website, it's looking great, but for one reason or another, 6 months down the line, you have to change the name of your website and the domain name needs to be changed. Either it's a legal dispute, I had that last week actually, or you've just changed your company name for one reason or another. But whatever happens, you need to buy a new domain. So firstly, you'd go to somewhere like 123reg or GoDaddy, or if you want a free .co.uk, click the card there because I'll show you how to get one. But yeah, once you've got your domain, you need to point it to your current server that your website is on. So usually that involves changing the name servers and it's pointing to your server. Now, depending on your control panel, after that, you need to add your new domain as an add-on domain on the account of the previous domain. Are you with me? So it's going to be a secondary domain on your existing account. Later on, we'll make it the primary domain, and then you can either phase the other one out or whatever you want to do. So you've done that, you've added it as an add-on domain in your cPanel or your Plesk or your Stack CP, whatever control panel you use. You just need to tell your existing server that this domain is ready to be used. So onto the WordPress side of things. What do you need to do next? I'll show you. This is the website that we're going to be working with today. It's jnlbuilding.co.uk, and they want to change their website address to jmabuildersdorset.co.uk. So firstly, I've purchased the domain name and I've already pointed it to my server. So the next thing you need to do is to go inside your control panel for your server and then add it as an add-on domain. Now, yours will probably look fairly similar. However, let me just show you what mine looks like. This is the control panel for the domain. Whether you've got cPanel or Plesk or Extend CP, you'll be able to have the option to add an add-on domain. Now, when you add on the domain, I've already done this already for JMA Builders Dorset. You can later on make it primary, but that just then means that once you've got that domain in place, it will work, but of course all the references on the website will point to jnlbuilding.co.uk. So whilst they'll land on your website, any links they click and it will go back to JNL Building. So we need to change all references on the website to show the new website address. So the first thing that we need to do is to go inside the database. And to do that, within your control panel, you should be able to find something called phpMyAdmin. Now this will be and look the same for all of the control panels. It'll look something along the lines of this. And once you're in here, you should be able to open up the database and find the options table. Now mine is WP_options, but yours may have a different prefix. But either way, it'll be underscore and then options. And you need to click that because this is the database table that holds the core data for your website. And you can see there, it says JNL Building. So obviously we need to change that to JMA Builders Dorset. So it's just a case of double clicking and then editing the entry here and clicking elsewhere, which saves it. We'll do the same here and also here too. Also, we can change the title of the website here whilst we're at it. So there we go. We've changed those values there. Now, do be wary that this site has got HTTPS. That means it's got an SSL certificate. So you will need to get another SSL certificate for this domain in particular. It will not work on the previous SSL because that is distinct and unique for the previous web address. So you will need to add that into your control panel. So once you've done that, you should then be able to visit the website on the new domain, so jmabuildersdorset.co.uk, and then go into the admin by going wp-admin. So look, we can log in, great. So if we go onto the existing website, you'll see that many of the links actually do link to the JMA Builders Dorset pages, which is great because these links and many of the links throughout the site will be using the core URL from the options table in the database. But there are some, like this, that will not get changed, and any buttons that you've done manually, for instance this one on the banner, this goes to JNL Building Services as well. So we need to change a number of these references in the database. Now you think, oh my goodness, this is a big site. I've got to go through loads of pages. No, you haven't. There's a cheeky little tip. So if you log in to your website admin, of course, it's your new address and then /wp-admin, and then go to plugins and then add new. And then you can search for a plugin called Search and Replace. It's just important that you enter the ampersand there because that is the and that the plugin uses. There we go. It's the green icon and you need to click Install Now. And then once it's installed, you can click Activate. And what this will do is search your database for all references of one domain and change it to another. So it's all installed now. We can go to Tools and Search and Replace, and then click on the Search and Replace tab, and then type in your previous web address. So it's j&lbuilding.co.uk, and we're changing it to jmabuildersdorset.co.uk. Now, it's important that you check that the format is exactly the same for all of these. You haven't got an extra / or HTTP. It needs to be exactly the same. So we're just exchanging one for another here. Then once you have done that, you need to then select all of the tables because you're checking the whole database here and you want to basically make sure that every reference is covered. So click Select All Tables, and then as I know what I'm doing, I'm going to unclick the dry run and then click Save Changes to Database here. So this is going to look for jnlbuilding.co.uk and replace it with jmabuildersdorset.co.uk. So I'm going to click Do Search and Replace now. And you'll see that 145 references were changed there. Now we can go to the View Tables and look, there we go. That's the before and that's the after. So that has all been done now. So if I go back to the website, I will know that the email address in the header should now say info@jmlbuildersdorset. Yep. So we know that every reference has been replaced, and even this button here again has been replaced too. So that's your database covered now, and all references have been changed. So we also need to change any file references that may be pointing to the previous domain. Now, it would be very unlikely that there will be some references to the domain in your theme files, but sometimes certain coders may come along and then do some hard coding whereby they put your URL in the actual files that are creating your website, the PHP files, and you need to make sure that those aren't there. So the next thing we need to download is a plugin called String Locator, and this will basically cycle through all of your files and it will try to find the previous reference. So this one will be J&L Building. So let's just go for String Locator. And once you find it, click Install Now and then click Activate. So as you can see, it's now been activated. So we can now access this through the Tools menu and then search for String Locator. And what we might as well do is search the whole WordPress directory and search for the string jnlbuilding.co.uk and then click the search. Now this may take up to 30 seconds or a minute to do depending on how many files you've got in your directory. Now usually I would just search the themes directory, but some coders like to tinker and tinker too much and change files in the core, which they shouldn't do, but it happens. But thankfully the search was completed and no results are found, which is great. But if jnlbuilding.co.uk was found in any of the files, it would show the file and the line number. So what you could do is go into your FTP and then change the reference to make sure it's correct. But all said and done, we've changed the files, we've changed the database, and everything is now good to go. So JMA Builders Dorset all works correctly, which is fantastic. Now, it's also worth reminding you, if you've got any social media presence, make sure that's switched over. Make sure Google Analytics is switched over, the Google Search Console is switched over, any Google business pages have been done as well. And what you also will probably want to do is head back into your control panel and make sure that your domain is now made to be a secondary domain on the server. So JNL Building is going to be replaced as the primary domain by JMA Builders Dorset, and then whatever happens to that one, it can be passed on to someone else if it was a legal dispute, or it can just be phased out, whatever you want to do. But now everything will be accessed through jmabuildersdorset.co.uk. So that's how to do it. If you like this video, click the thumbs up and then subscribe, because there's more features like this that make you and help you get the best out of WordPress. Thanks for watching.